like if you check my page, you'll see that I have done a Discovery Explorer on so many different lines.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it has just made my list to buy so high.
And you also post different things like other like non not a perfume, but like a scented other product. Like haven't you posted like some big like body washes and I didn't know that Victoria's Secret has really elevated their packaging.
They have
since like 2000. They look you showed me that they look really good now.
They do. I love fragrances. So now that we are all go into what this is about, we have Emily from Shelter. I'm excited. I have my questions ready. Had a great opening conversations while we had a bit of a difficulty because I want all of us to be clear. I don't know where to begin. So
let's begin by saying thank you, Emily, for joining.
Oh, my pleasure. I'm so happy to have some time with you ladies today. There's so many people I wish that I could hang out with in person who I would like want to be friends with in real life or, you know, so far away. I think it would be so fun to have. I know some different cities have fragrance community meetups, and I think it would be so fun to have something like centrally located in the US. But anyways, that's not what we're talking about. So. Event planners, maybe you can.
Okay, if there are one out there, they need to put it together because I am dying to actually meet each one of y'all. I have come to believe that Yellow Sense is my sister from another mister, right? Because we seem to do everything together. We like the same things. We have connected like we were friends in the past. Just of us being able to do this has been great. I do have one question to kick it all off.
Yeah.
Okay, Emily, how did you get into doing perfumery? Like,
well, I've always been really into beauty and fragrance for most of my life. I always wore fragrance since I was like, you know, like in middle school. You remember the Jovan White Musk?
Yes.
I loved that. I think I would still wear it today, like 30 years later, but, and so, it was always just sort of part of my life. I just always liked fragrance. And, I don't know, I wanted to just do something and just sort of like, I don't know, I'm not an artistic person. I don't play any music. I'm really bad at sports. Like what is my thing that I can do, you know? So I just decided, I think I will just make fragrances. And so, you know, like some things you just speak into existence, I guess. So I just decided.
When you decided, did you have like a mentor along to help you out with that process?
No, I didn't. And, you know, I know people say like, you know, they're self-taught, and I don't really like to say that I'm self-taught because, you know, I use other people's resources. Like I read people's blogs. I read the DIY forum on Base Notes. And so, you know, I'm not like, you know, just starting from nothing. So I didn't have a mentor at first, but later I did have a mentor about, well, last December, I met who's now my mentor and a dear friend who is also my sister from another mister, I'm quite sure, like you ladies, who I met in a live, one of Mr. Cologne 76, when his live, it was so serendipitous. I was like at home, I wasn't working, and just jumped on there and like, you know, hi from Portland, and then we have been talking ever since.
Yes.
Yeah, so Vireo Perfumes, she has taught me many things and is an incredible supporter. Awesome.
Yes. I think and I don't know what just happened. My face just changed colors. I was trying, and I don't know what it did. Well, I guess I'm gonna be a little brown right now until I figure that out.
You look good.
I think Glenn's channel has connected so many people, like so many people. I know for sure he's connected me with people I would not have ever thought that I would have come across. And to be truthfully honest, I was scared to do it. I was scared to kind of get into Instagram because I was like, at my, people are going to think something is crazy about me. I love Bath and Body Works, right? Or that I'm Victoria's Secrets, that I blend fragrances, like I layer fragrances. So sometimes your fear make you not do it.
Yes.
But it has been amazing. Like I get a lot of people who will say, like you said to me, I would have never thought about Victoria's Secrets like that. Or I tried one of your fragrance combinations and girl, it was good, right? Like that is so encouraging. Meeting people online that I can chat with and talk about fragrance with. So when you speak of mentors, I think we all are mentoring others, just in the fact that we're putting ourselves out there. Like I mentioned, have perfumer in my mind, right? But I don't have the guts to just jump out and do it. But I'll put together some stuff. I mean, I would blend saffron with some oud. I'll do it, right? But I feel like I can do it taking someone else's work and kind of experimenting it together. So like,
well, you're already on your way then, and you already have like a nose and a mind for it, and you never know like what you can do until you try. And some things are like, I started out just doing using really simple little fragrance oils, so not like technically perfumery materials, which are something that is it could be a natural isolate, or it could be something that is man-made, but it's something that's not just generally retail available. You know what I mean? Like those like I used a lot of fragrance oils from Brambleberry for one, just to like get a feel for how to put things together, what worked and what didn't, and those, they were already, I didn't have to construct a gardenia accord. There's something that you can already get that's that, that is that scent. It's like with those other actual like perfumery materials, it's often you're building something from scratch, and it's not, when you smell something, that's not what it ends up being. It's not a what you see is what you get. But with those fragrance oils, they're so much easier to work with. And so then I just started like, blending them, trying different proportions. And I used Everclear, if you can get it. They keep it behind, if your state allows it, but if they keep it behind the counter because it's 200 proof. And because I wasn't selling anything, I was just experimenting, then, I just used Everclear to, as an alcohol to dilute. And, it's not the greatest thing in the world, but it's something to just play around with and start. So really, I would, if anybody who wants to try that sort of stuff, I really like Brambleberry. I've loved so many of their things. So no affiliation, but
funny though, because a lot of people who walk into TJ Maxx and buy that whole first like 10 sets sample of the essential oils, then go to Whole Foods and find like the patchoulis, the like, and I can't mix my blend, but it never turns out to be like yours. It literally is a mess, but kind of like, if a scent has mint, I'll mix it. Like if I got ale, I'll mix it with the vanilla. Like I can play around, but I'm not good. And I was telling Claudia that I actually go to the mall with her Fragrance Match. I open it up in Bath and Body Works, and I'm like, okay, I need this scent and this scent, but I need to layer it. And they laugh. Like,
that's great.
But
we all want something that is really us, that's really you, that feels personal, that's not just you know, generic. You know, some things are just, you know, your hand soap at home smells like it does, you know, whatever. But there's some fragrances. Fragrance can be is personal to begin with, but it can be so much more special and more when we customize to by layering or just experimenting with, you know, a little extra vanilla on something.
Right. Because I started mine off of the Amazon kit. There's a you can get on Amazon that has all the different fragrances in it, and I drop a few of those drops in lotion, because if I did for a fragrance, then I would drop the cherry, or I'll drop the passion fruit if I want to.
Oh.
I got started doing it that way, and I realized that okay, well, because and then I buy unscented lotion, so I am a die-hard person for smelling good. I go to bed with fragrance. I go to the gym with a fragrance. I am in my surroundings. I'm the person they're like, oh, you know, it's almost where I don't get compliments. Something unique, because it's almost they're expected. If I was to come in and I didn't wear fragrance, they're like, oh, okay. Are you okay? Are you feeling well? You know what I'm saying?
I don't smell something. It is
in the room, and you know, and I know it's odd when people say that, but if I have been like, and honestly, mine started back from a teacher, and I said one day I'll tell my whole full story, because on here people think I have all the confidence in the world, but I am terrified. I'm a complete I am a true introvert.
Same. I know it doesn't seem like it on here, but yes.
Okay, so let me talk about your brand. Let's talk about L, because this was one.
Let's talk about L.
Okay. So you have L?
Actually, Emily, you already know I love L.
Yes, I know. And so, do you want me to kind of just describe it a little bit?
Yeah, describe
like the background. Yeah. So L is a scent that there we go. Yeah, thank you. L is a scent that I made originally for a girlfriend, and she is a really just a really special friend, you know, like when you bond with somebody really easily who you meet in an unlikely, you know, like we worked together at the same company, but we were in different, you know, we never saw each other working, but we, you know, we met, and so we've always stayed close. And we really supported each other through some, you know, tough emotional stuff, you know. And she and I and by the way, I never like disclose more about her than she has said, you know, publicly to other people too, because she's my friend, not a marketing tool. So, but Elle, her name is Layla, and she is a refugee from the war in Bosnia, and that comes, well, you know, any refugee, I'm sure, that's extremely serious trauma, and she was unable to visit, you know, go back to visit Bosnia for a very, very long. I think she just went back there like for the first time like 16 years or something. So she doesn't feel at home where she is, and you know, not able to say goodbye to, you know, different people. There's like incredible loss, like an emptiness, and not feeling at home where you are, and just like this broken-heartedness, just a broken feeling is what I, you know, understand from all of our conversations. But so I was envisioning something that would be a scent, because I had made her something before just for her personally, and when she got it, she said, "Oh my God, what is this? It smells like Bosnia. It smells like the air. It smells like the flowers." And I was like, "Oh my God, it worked." You know? But then I wanted to make her something that was very healing, comforting, and uplifting, a feeling of being, not having the burden of all of that, just not having all that pain. So I pulled from, I've never been to Bosnia, but I pulled from, everything that I could read or look at, what kinds of fruits and flowers grow there, and I've seen certainly pictures from her, and it is an absolutely gorgeous country, by the way. So that was what I had in mind. Firstly, I wanted it to be very heart healing and comforting. So I think probably most perfumers or indie perfumers start with something like that. What's the feeling I want to convey? Not what do I want it to smell? I mean, sometimes what do I want it to smell like? I'm going to make this. But in many cases, there's what am I trying to get across? Mm-hmm. So the notes, so people can kind of picture it, are raspberry, pear, and plum. And then the heart is mostly a lily, with the national flower of Bosnia is the golden lily. Mm-hmm. And then there is some dry woods, little cedar, like dry, not there's not like a wet earthiness. And then vanilla.
Mm-hmm. So just to add to your story, for those who don't know, the reference for L is really getting past, letting go of like a difficult time in your life. And if you Google this, what happened in Bosnia, the genocide that happened around that time, that healing, and that's what I get from L. It's more of like a healing fragrance, like from anybody, like putting that baggage down, whatever baggage you have, family drama, relationship drama, whatever it is, putting that baggage down, and that moment where you let go. That's what I get from L. It's just fresh. It's just crisp, and I do get that lily, and I do love that lily, and that's why this became my favorite. So it's just that fresh air. So just imagine that a new beginning. That's what I get from L.
And I was saying, I didn't know the story behind it. Of course, I read about it. It's so much better when you actually hear it, being explained. It to me came off just as a beautiful, fresh fragrance. I get a lot of lily and pear. And that's odd, because normally pear in an opening dies out. But for me in L, it kind of hangs in there, and I like it. Now, the soft vanilla, I will say, I don't pick it up. I don't pick it up. I've tried it on my skin, but it is just a very comforting spring type fragrance. And I say spring because you want that cool breeze that comes to pass. And it's like, it's refreshing. You just so great. Right?
It's so good to hear that
I love it. I love it. Like I told you, I love all three that you sent to me. However, L, I cheated. L was my favorite, so I made it the first one that we talk about.
That is totally, it's you run it the way you want to talk, the way you want to. And I know that lots of people have reached out to me about L in particular. And, certainly, so just as a disclaimer, like, everybody doesn't experience a scent the same way. It's not going to be like profoundly life-changing to everyone who smells it. Just, for realistic. But I have talked with a number of people who said that they had this like emotional experience and they cried, and it was, which is nothing I would have ever expected or known how to formulate. Like,
have you ever seen Serendipity? Is a movie, and it's a movie where she's cooking and her emotions is in her cooking. I'm showing my age.
No, wait, what is it called?
serendipity, what is it called? SCP. I have to find it. I'm gonna post it. But it's a movie.
I'm thinking about like Water for Chocolate was that same way, and that's showing my age as well.
Right. Well, why I wanted to use that one was she was such a beautiful cook, but her emotions was in her cooking.
Yes.
Was sad. The whole organization cried. Someone does know about the movie. You know, the whole room cried. She was in love, and they just felt all this love. And I say that to say, I think when you went to make this fragrance, you probably had all of that while you were making it, because you had a person in mind. You knew what you could give to her. And I think that in life, you pour yourself into it. So when you hear people say give them an emotional feel, is probably because of the fact that they're feeling the passion you put into it. Like even you telling the story of why you even made it shows that you made it out of love. You didn't make it out of sales.
Oh, definitely not. Yeah, for sure.
A majority of people love it, but I don't think that was your intention. And I think those are the best fragrances.
That is incredibly humbling to hear. You know, I always hope that, you know, there's things that I've made that will never see the light of day because it's in the graveyard. It's bad. It's never. But those are things that I was random and unintentional about, or was making when I was, you know, first learning and hadn't learned any of the lessons that I have learned so far, or, you know, certainly the lessons I have yet to learn. But it really, I agree with that completely. That, and when it comes to food as well, like you can, I don't know how that works, but emotions do come through food. And I think about food in relation to fragrance all the time.
Yes. It does. It comes through. Okay, so I chose my favorite. So what is the next one you want to do?
All right, so L was both our favorites. The next one I have, I don't know if you still carry this one, but if you can talk about it, Hot Rock.
Oh my God. So I don't, because that one is,
because
I must have just sent that to you like as a gift, I think, because Yellow Sense has bought everything I've ever made. So Hot Rock is one, I decided when I was first, okay, to just back up, this is probably more story, but anyways, when I first started the brand, when I decided I wanted to do this, I was like, well, let me just use like the materials that I already have and, you know, see what I can do with them and see if anybody likes it, you know. But I had a goal then by the start of 2020. I started that little shop in summer 2020. Yeah, I guess. And so then by this year, January 2021, I wanted to only use materials that had third-party audited, sustainable, and ethically sourced materials. So companies that have more rigorous and documented initiatives and are making progress on those goals. That was just really important to me. I didn't see a lot of that in fragrance when, before. Not that it doesn't exist, it certainly does, and I'm getting to know more of those brands now, being involved in the fragrance community. But I just didn't see a lot of that, and it's important to me. I know it has to be important to other people, whether we have thought about it or not. But so then that one, Hot Rock, is one that I couldn't validate is made entirely of materials third-party audited, certified. But that one is my husband's favorite, and he's using like the last drops of it that are available. And then somebody else who I had sent it also to somebody else, And I remember now because I was delayed in getting L out because I wanted to make sure that it lasted, you know, the longevity was really up to, you know, my expectations. So I think I included that as a gift because I was a week or two behind in sending it. And so I'd also sent one to Tyler. He may be here, I don't know, but I'd sent that to him, and he DM'd me and was like, how can I get this hot rock? I'm obsessed with it. And I was like, oh, geez. Great. But
and I'm like saving this. I'm like, nah, I can share this one.
Yeah.
I want to reformulate it though.
But Yellow Sense just told me she's not sharing.
No one apparently no one
That's
is
okay.
recording it.
That's okay. That's okay.
I'll try.
I want to reformulate it though with those materials now that I'm using, so that, you know, it can be, you know, be consistent with values, my values. So I'm going to be working on that. So if people want to look forward to that, it's bergamot, violet, black tea, and some sandalwood. It's really simple, and some sandalwood.
I get a lot of the black tea, and I think that's why I crave it. But it just gives me that. Many people like it. When I wear it, everyone is like, what are you smelling? Especially now when the cold air just hits you, it just gives off that warm cup of tea. And
yes,
that place, is it in Arizona where you have those springs like the, what is it? What's the name of the place?
Yeah.
Anybody knows?
I know what you're talking about. I was thinking exactly about, you know, how there's like a hot rock massage.
Mm-hmm.
And when you go into the spa to get a massage, how, you know, they sit you in this dark, wonderful room while you wait, and they bring you some tea, and it's just like completely luxurious and relaxing, but not overwhelming. It just makes you feel like, you know, self-care, really. So I definitely need to get that reformulated because everybody needs more of that in their life, or needs a, you know, can't go to get a massage, but I can wear a perfume that smells like getting a massage.
Right. Okay. So I would like to move on to the fragrance Extra.
Yes.
Extra to me, and I'll tell you what Extra, how it won me over. Extra has a spiciness to it that is so inviting. It is so, and I couldn't figure it out. And I did what you said. You know, you sent it to me. If you want to experience the fragrance, don't open this. And so I smelled all three, right? And I was like, oh, it was like L, it was Extra, it was L, it was Extra. I like Sir. We're gonna get to Sir, but
Okay.
it was L and it was Extra. And it was going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But I was like, okay, I can't take it anymore.
I must know.
I must know, right? So I won't go into I'll go into the notes, and then I'll tell us about it. The note of Extra is bergamot, cinnamon, clove, carnations. I'm assuming that's ylang ylang, jasmine, honey, coconut, sandalwood, smoky starix. I would love to know what is smoky starix. But first, before you go into that, tell us about it. Like, how did it come about?
So this is another one that came from, also I think probably has love in it because it was inspired by a person and some pictures that they shared, someone who I used to work with, whose family is originally from Laos, and he shared some pictures with us from when he was in Laos and was ordained as a Buddhist monk. And so I was like, the pictures, you know, they just blow you away. And I was, you know, how beautiful all of the flowers. And so I was just, you know, how you kind of see outside the picture frame and you just sort of start to imagine. Yeah. I just could think about, you know, the robes that the monks wear, that saffron color, and it's not called burgundy, but you know what I'm talking about, the burgundy-ish color that goes with the saffron colored robes, and imagining and looking at the pictures, all the beautiful flowers, and imagining like having, because you know they have like a party, like you know to recognize, celebrate that ordination. And I was imagining what the food would be like, and all of the spices, and how just delicious, and how surrounded anyone would feel. And it doesn't have to, you don't have to be ordained a Buddhist monk like to have that feeling of being surrounded by people who love and care for you deeply, and who you love and care for deeply. Just that sort of a bubble feeling of just being enveloped in love. So that's I looked at, you know, I tried to, you know, kind of know a little bit. I've never been to Laos either, but I just kind of, you know, tried to research a little bit about, you know, what actually grows there. And some of those things don't grow there. You know, everything doesn't, I tend to think very literally, but I'm trying to let that go. Everything doesn't have to be literal. It just has to get across the concept. But
yes.
Yeah, so that's where extra came from a very unlikely photo to have seen.
Well, it sounds beautiful. It sounds absolutely beautiful. What is Smoky Starex?
Yeah, so that comes from, what's that?
Where would it fall into when you're talking about notes?
Oh, sure. It's a wood. It's a wood. And it can be extracted either in a, well, I'm not sure about the whole extraction process, but the end result can be a very smoky note to it, or a very sweet aspect. So I have one that is, so that one is a very smoky one, but I have another of the same, this you know, comes from the same wood, that is very sweet and almond scented. So almost like a, you know, like marzipan,
yes.
Like that kind of sweet almond scent that you like is just delicious. So it smells like that. So it's really, yeah, I don't know about all the back end stuff other than that's the end result.
Well, the reason why I ask is because when I smell fragrances or I wear a fragrance and a note that is unique to me that I haven't heard of, but yet I like it, right? So I try to find more fragrances. So I kind of wanted to know,
yeah.
So if it's like a woody note or something, I need to kind of research and see if I can find more woody fragrances. Where
yes. And they might be something that is inspired by, or maybe not, you know, a South Asian country where it grows.
Okay.
We'll see. I would love to hear about it when you find them.
Do we have any questions from the audience?
Yeah, let's see.
Oh, yes, let's see. The questions. Oh, no. They're not questions. The ones that are popping up for me is what people are wearing. So that's not.
That's good, though. Like to know.
Well, I have to go answer that at the end of this. I didn't know that people was answering me. What questions do you have? Let's throw some questions in here, or put your questions in the question mark. I have one that I can think of. What has been any challenges that you had in beginning this journey?
I missed that word. What has been what?
What have been any challenges that they have had throughout this journey?
Yeah, so a lot. Not knowing what I was doing was a challenge. Not having a background in chemistry. So, you know, you don't have to be, you know, a Nobel Prize winning chemist or even have a degree in chemistry to make fragrance. But having some knowledge of chemistry certainly is helpful, because I didn't know what an aldehyde was, or, you know, how it reacts with you know, an alcohol or something, you know, just getting to understand the at the most basic possible level, the sort of like chemical structures. And I think, you know, there's certainly things you can learn on your own from books or from YouTube University or whatever. But for my own, the sake of my own, you know, discipline, I think I would benefit from an actual like instructor-led course on the chemistry of perfume. But I haven't done that yet. So that has been a challenge though, and it becomes a lot of trial and error. And I've learned then from my mentor, who is here, Vireo Perfumes, to spend a lot of time studying those materials. And that takes time. It's tedious. It's boring. I mean, just to be honest, you know, it's not the like exciting part, but it's one of those things, you know, you always have to do things that are not all that great and fun in order to get a result. So yeah, that's been that sort of chemistry knowledge.
Okay. A question from, and that was actually a great answer. The question from the audience is, what fragrance family do you like working with most? And then the second part to that question is there any fragrance family you would like to improve on?
So I have never liked gourmands. And Elle is definitely a gourmand. I never liked gourmands because they're always so heavy or they're cloyingly sweet. Like I remember when pink sugar was the thing and I was like, oh no, not for me. No. Or angel. And I can't. They're just too so I've never liked gourmands, and I honestly did not consider, because I didn't like gourmands, I didn't consider Elle a gourmand until Mr. Cologne 76 reviewed it, or yeah, I think he did I wasn't there, but he looked at all the samples on a live, and I don't know if you guys saw that video, but I was blushing because he was like, and I was like, whoa.
I know.
Oh my God, what a reaction. But he was like, we are in gourmand territory. And I thought, are we? I guess we are.
Yeah.
So that, yeah, go ahead.
You said it was surprising for him to say.
Very surprising. Well, it's always surprising what other people teach you about your art or your product or what you produce, whatever that may be. Other people teach you more about it. And so I have wanted then to develop in that area, and sort of this ethereal gourmand is how Vireo Perfumes describes it. And I think that's a good description for Elle. It's very airy, and but with that vanilla, grounding it a little bit, I guess, to make it in that gourmand territory, but not a gourmand the way I usually think about them. So I would like to develop in that area. Although I guess I'm not really actively doing that, especially right now, but I have plans to. So we'll just say that. But the other part of it was what am I not developed in?
Yeah, what was the fragrance? I think fragrance that family that you would like to improve on.
I really struggle with aquatic, marine sort of fragrances. Maybe it's because I don't really personally love them, or have a strong feeling of a connection in any way, or never collected them. I find the materials super, super hard to work with myself, partly because they have to be so diluted, or they smell like wet dog or just something disgusting. If you smell them in their full strength state, it's disgusting. So I don't know if I ever will try to develop in that area unless I somehow become super inspired to, or feeling a stronger connection with it.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, yeah. I mean, huh?
Oh, no, go ahead.
I can agree with that because of my collection as a, and I tell people that I'm not a collector, but I guess I really am.
Oh, yeah, you are.
I don't have too many aquatic scents. They just don't move me. You right? And it's nothing wrong with them. They don't wow me.
Yeah.
And I put on a fragrance. I want it to talk. I want it to dance.
Sing.
Yeah. And aquatic scents are like a fresh out the shower, a bedtime scent to me. So I can truly understand where you're coming from. I will admit that I haven't got a stinky smell, but lime. The notes of lime is in a fragrance, and oh my God, that is like I have to go home and take a shower. I feel like I stink. But actually, I've come across, again, Instagram. I only can thank this community. I've come across a couple of fragrances that have lime in it that I actually enjoyed and was surprised. I was like, oh, okay. Well, maybe I need to stop saying I don't like lime.
You know, I hesitated on sending you, sir, because I knew I wanted to send you extra because you had posted something about, or maybe you said it in that live with Memphis SOTD when you were saying these like spicy clove scents, and I was like, oh, I have to send her extra. But I hesitated about sending you, sir, because you said something about these masculine scents and all their vetiver.
Yeah, I can't. But I like so, I like her, but that is the one I think earlier in our conversation I was saying you have a fragrance that I would like to layer with something. But we'll talk about it. When we get to Sir, I'll explain why I feel that way. But go ahead, Yellow Sense. What's another one that you want to talk
about? Question regarding business. How, if you have, or how have you overcome like imposter syndrome or trying, because most people who branch off and start developing like their own fragrance ignore the noise in the background. It's my niece. I guess they're just having her brother loving each other. They're best friends.
So when you said imposter syndrome, yeah. So I like want to quit perfumery all the time because you know, I worry that the things that I have made were just by luck and I'll never be able to reproduce it, or you know, everybody goes through that, right? Like where they're you know, I did this once, what if I can't do it again, or you know, or I just don't. And probably realizing that I know less and less all the time, probably, to be honest. Sometimes, I don't know, I think you can learn more and realize that you know less. So for sure. And will I overcome that? No. No. Who does? I mean, I don't know, maybe some people do, and good for them. But I don't know. I don't know. It's just the thing about being a perfectionist, I guess. Other perfectionists may relate.
Yeah. I can find a way to balance it.
Yeah.
I mean, in America, you find it, but there's a balance to it.
Yeah.
And the reason question was, I noticed in your fragrances have this balance, this comfort. Most of them, it's they give off the feeling of your breathing or like self-love. And led me to your house was your fragrances all had that soothing and calming, and it's like somebody's giving you a hug, and I get that in all of them, even some. So
that's amazing and very, very humbling to hear. And probably is that, you know, like we were talking about earlier, that emotion coming through. Who doesn't need to be calmed? Like, you know, when I started this little journey, it was during the height of COVID, and like we all needed to be calmed. It was You know, things were worse than ever in that whole period of time. Everything was worse than ever. And I felt really like people needed to, and I also needed to feel connected and to something or someone, calm. You know, I mean, you just can't be around the people who are far from you and that stuff. Yeah. So maybe that's coming through. That's exciting and very like humbling to hear.
Okay. We have a question from the audience. I'm gonna put it up on the screen. It says, "What inspired the company name?" And it's a perfect name. So that.
So shelter in place. Last year when we were, you know, locked down or quarantine, whatever you want to call it, or what they called it where you live. But those shelter in place orders, and they, and also this sort of thought of taking a shelter in perfume, like being sheltered by.
Okay. So we have been talking about Sir.
Yes.
Should I go ahead or do you want to go ahead?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. You can go ahead. You can.
So my final one was was it the first one? I don't remember, but it was, I call it my art, my love piece, and that's a Vineyard.
This was the one that you said you had to literally pull your car over, and I was like, oh my God, we're stopping traffic.
I remember, I don't know, Claudia, if you've smelled this one, but this.
Nope. I haven't.
This Vineyard.
I haven't.
Waiting for Elle, and Marshall had a live talking about it, and that's when it arrived, and then I smelled it, and I was like, called you up, and I was like, Emily, I have this. That's before my car over. So
so cute.
Over, pull out the art piece, take pictures. I'm like, this is it. So, Emily, if you can just tell us the background story.
Yeah, so in the Vineyard, it has a like obscure, weird backstory. So just to do, like briefly, I was rewatching a movie called Jawbreaker from like 1999, 2000 something, and I was thinking about all of the like monochromatic fashion during that time. You know, where it was, you know, like the to show our age, the Brandy and Monica, The Boy Is Mine video, just like all of those sorts of looks, if anybody knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking a lot about that out, and like those sorts of like bright colors. And I was thinking about this eyeshadow combination that I used to wear during that time that was a purple and a green. It probably didn't look nearly as cute as I thought it did. But so I was thinking about, well, what would smell purple and green? What would smell like a definite color? Like those, like sort of early 2000s fashion. So that's where I was coming from. And so I think the green probably really comes across. It's definitely, I don't know that it was available yet, or I didn't have much of it probably when I sent you yours, Claudia. But in the Vineyard, we had a naming contest for it. I didn't know what to call it. So that was a lot of fun. I hope to do that again. We had a naming contest, and in the Vineyard was the name we picked.
No, the ones that you sent me, Emily, were right up my alley. What I appreciate is I think that you listen to me. You listen to the lives that I've done. You saw the perfumes that I posted. I have no worries because I know that opportunity to get the other ones is going to be there. But I did appreciate everyone that you sent. It really felt like you was like, okay, this one is for you. This is the one I know that Claudia is gonna like. I know that he's going to fall in love with. And you sent me Sir, even though I said that line wasn't it. But I think that we had a chat. If I remember precisely, we had a chat and he was like, well, let me send you Sir before you say that you dislike it. So,
yeah, so that's so funny because, you know, there's no sense in sending people sending people things that you know they're not going to like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I felt like Sir was so much cleaner. Like the vetiver in there it's a very clean, crisp, bright green vetiver, not a earthy vetiver, which has its place. But yeah, so yeah, we want to talk about Sir?
We can. One
Oh.
of the questions I keep getting, and I'm trying to use the question box. But one of the questions that keeps popping up, and I was trying to follow it and listen at the same time, is I think they're trying to figure out your zodiac sign. Are you a Virgo?
No, that would be a lot more organized if I were a Virgo. I wish I were a Virgo.
Okay.
I must have Virgo somewhere in my chart, but no, I'm an Aquarius.
Is that Aquarius?
Yeah.
Same here.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, we are so stylish, aren't we?
Okay. I just asked it. That question came up. And I'm sorry if I was trying to let her complete her sentence, but that was the question. What is Emily's zodiac sign?
I could have given a shorter answer. Sorry.
No. I love all of them. So no, don't short answers. I love everything.
We have a really special guest.
Hello.
The second one going back.
Yes, let's talk about Sir, Emily, because I feel like the audience is like, what are they talking about? This fragrance here, to give a little back history for me, and then I'll let Emily go into how Sir even came about. I am not that big on lime, and you, along with Niles from City, everyone was like, no, I'm not going to let you give up on it. You have to try it. So I've received also Kirk. I've received so many lime fragrances. So again, it goes back into our earlier conversation that this community, I love it because they won't let you say never. Okay, I don't like this. This is not it. Sir is good, but Sir is the one that I like to layer. But I want you to tell us about the actual fragrance first, and then I'll go into the ones that I like to layer it with.
Sure. So Sir came from, I was thinking about like a very classic Hollywood, like mid 20th century Hollywood actor and that sort of look and aesthetic. And I was thinking about Richard Burton, who was more of a Shakespearean actor than a film actor. And he was married to Elizabeth Taylor twice. Very much a, he had a very, not a great husband, obviously, but he had a very commanding and confident voice, and like not as, you know, classically good looking as some of his peers, but had something about him that plenty of women obviously wanted him. And I thought that was, I just thought that was a really cool, like, what a great trait for a person to have, you know? So I was thinking about what he might, you know, what he might wear, what he might smell like, or what he might do on his day off or something. And so I had this picture in my mind of Richard Burton coming out of this like opulent, beautiful white marble bathroom, and he's coming out of the shower and he's wearing a towel and just like, I don't know, this very, I don't know, like sexy, but everyday sexy. Not, you know, tuxedo, red carpet, or, you know, just overly done. I love everyday sexy, you know? Yes. So that's what I was thinking about.
Okay. Actually, that's good. I mean, I like that. The going into, for me, it has lime, it has vetiver, it has cedar, atlas, heart, it has leather, and it has amber. Now, here's the funny part. Lime, vetiver, and leather is a no for me in fragrances. If I see them in a fragrance, I'm not buying that, right? I'm not gonna like it. But I actually like Sir. Now, for me, Sir is not a fragrance that I can wear alone because the lime and the vetiver on me, and I've always spoken of that, is my chemistry. This is only my opinion. Comes off like bad odor, right? Yeah. And I don't know if I'm pushing off a little too much of something and it doesn't blend well.
We don't know.
But I can wear Sir for a lot longer than other fragrance. But to kind of soften some of that vetiver and lime, I combine it with sweeter notes. So I combine it with Fancy by
Oh, interesting.
I combine it by Fancy by Jennifer I mean Jessica Simpson. I combine it with God, what is my other one? Wild Candy by MANCERA. So really, really makes sense. I also have tried it out with Tom Ford's Lost Cherry.
Really?
And that one, oh my God, it's like a fruit salad.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
So, but again, that is for me. You know, everybody has their own chemistry level and why fragrances doesn't work. So if I had to rank them, I greatly appreciate receiving Sir because it knocked me out of being able to say I like lime, because I can't say that I do. I like lime. I have come to like lime, vetiver, and leather, actually. But
never say never.
yeah, I just need to add it with something else to it. But it's still a good sense. If you're into those notes, then Sir is the one to go.
Is the Fancy the one in the white bottle? Sorry, is that the Jessica Simpson in the white bottle?
The white bottle is Fancy Love. The original Fancy that started everything is in a clear bottle with gold writing on the outside.
Oh, okay.
Caramel, a caramel bomb. I don't know what was in her spirit when she made that one, but that has been a die-hard fragrance, and it's actually quite affordable. Right?
I'm just looking for Fancy.
You can get it for like $19. Because I've gotten deeper into fragrances. Fancy is not one that I would reach for if I'm looking for a fine or a caramel scent, you know. But I would never get rid of it. You know, I don't know if people know a true fragrance head. There are fragrances that you might not ever put on, maybe once or twice a year. But when you're going through your collection to say, okay, well, what do I need to declutter? You will never make that list.
No reason to, and it's even better with something else. So now you have the perfect pair.
Yeah. So those were the three that I have. Your listeners, do you have any other ones that you may have?
I do, but we'll stick to those four. The other ones, I don't think they might be like the hot stone. So I'll keep.
Yeah, I think I sent you a couple that, because you have everything I've made practically. I think I sent you a couple of things that I was like, this isn't all the way done. I don't know. What do you think?
To receive them, but I have a question about your packaging. Can you tell us more? Because I like the messages. If you can see.
Oh yeah.
Put some stickers, and she does also put some motivation messages. Packaging.
Yeah.
So what's the story behind your packaging?
The packaging is made by my unpaid intern husband, my investor / unpaid intern. So I don't know if other people know what it is. If you have one, I have a Cricut machine that cuts anything. So he is very smart about this sort of stuff, and I am not. So he figured out how to make boxes for on the Cricut for to be sized for the bottles. So he makes those and glues them together, and so yeah, we do that. And then the little stickers that I put on there are just things to do sort of with my values as a brand. So showing up and giving back, scents that are beautiful, responsible, sustainable. And I'm trying to remember what the other ones say now, but like a pretty perfume isn't enough. It needs to be more. It needs to mean something, more than just a pretty scent. So that's what those are.
Okay. So we're coming to the end of this live. It went so fast because it felt like talking to a friend.
Completely.
Someone who's in the live or who's going to watch it in the rebroadcast, what is new for Shelter in Perfume?
What's new is a bunch of stuff I have kind of percolating and hoping to, there's one that I'm hoping to get out for Christmas that was originally a bespoke, but we are continuing to fine tune that. So hopefully it can get out for Christmas. That will be, I won't even say what it is in case it falls through. So I don't want to disappoint anybody. So that, and I'm also working on something that is a pair of scents that I'll probably talk a whole lot more about, but it's kind of the concept behind it is sort of playing with the juxtaposition of light and dark, rebirth and new love. And then on the opposite side, like the, you know, disillusionment. I mean, nobody wants to smell like death, but just the sort of juxtaposition of light and dark. So being two different scents that you could wear together or not. So that's what I'm working towards. It's hard. I mean, I'm trying to construct a gardenia, and Vireo Perfumes has been very helpful to me in that, because there's so many things to consider about a flower. You know, it doesn't just smell like the petals. It smells, there's something green to it. There may be a spice. There may be something fecal, you know, if it's a jasmine or something, for example. So I hope I can bring those.
Oh, you will, you will. And if it doesn't come by the end of the year, it'll come soon enough. You know, everything takes time. If I know this is a tad bit off topic, but if I can just slide this in, Marshmallow just joined, and today is her birthday, and happy birthday! She is my travel, my travel dream, because she travels everywhere. But I just, and she's always so helpful, and I just saw her pop in. And the fact that she popped into our live is amazing to me. I'm excited for everything that you have coming in Shelter and Perfume.
Thank you.
I've said it several times through this live. I've said it several times on my page. I live vicariously through you all who make fragrances, because somewhere in my spirit, it says to jump out and do it. And the
yes, do it.
And you all are out here doing it and doing a spectacular job. I truly did enjoy all three of the ones that you sent. When time hits and finances permit, I think I'm gonna be like Yellow Sense. I'm probably have your whole collection.
Well, you know, I hope I'll be around. I expect to be around. So, you know, when the time is right, you do. And so, sorry, but I know that fragrance community buys so much. Yeah. And there's so much out there. So I understand how that goes.
Yeah.
This
closing statements. I think it was about to.
Okay, before you close out, there was something, I don't know if we already mentioned it, with Shelter and Perfumery, for anybody out there. If you buy any fragrances from her, and let's say you need a refill, you can actually send it back to her. And I really like that, because I hate it when my fragrance is almost out. You just have to DM Emily and talk to her, and you get your refill.
Yeah, absolutely. As part of
anybody.
I'm sorry, there's a little delay. As part of sustainability efforts, and you know, we don't have to have a brand new bottle all the time, but if you send me back your bottle, I'll fill it back up and touch up the artwork, as long as I have enough of it in stock. But I definitely have enough L right now. I made a ton of it, so I definitely want to continue doing that, you know, just to, you know, we don't have to have multiple bottles. Just don't. There's nothing wrong with it. Just fill it back up.
And I just remembered one thing we did not talk about. Your brand supports businesses or supports a cause. And we did not discuss that part. So can you talk about how mine supports various different causes? And if to go into
absolutely. So I knew when I started the brand that, and it has always been important to me, but it would be important to me as a brand owner to support organizations run by and for Black and Indigenous people of color. So that's something that I have focused on. And then there are specific scents like L because Elle is a refugee herself, I contribute some of that money, $3, anyways, it's on the dollars are on the website, but that goes to the Portland Refugee Support Group so that they can, it's run by and for refugees. So they, it's not run by people who don't have that experience. And that's important to support. So other different ones, Girl Trek, if people haven't heard of them, you should look them up. Girl Trek is an awesome organization. Black Girl Hockey Club is a really cool organization too. Those are a few that I have given back to right now. And an Asian American health community organization here in Portland is who I'm giving, want to give back to for the remainder of this year.
Okay. And where can everyone find your fragrance?
Etsy, on Etsy. And so there's a link, of course, in my bio. So you can check it out there. There's other stuff in there too, little links to little reviews and different things. So yeah, please check out.
Yes. Well, it has been a blast, ladies. I'm going to give back the rest of your Saturday.
Yes, thank you everybody so much for being here. This was really, really cool. Thank you for your questions. And I can't wait until one day when we can like hang out in person.
Yes, I'm putting it out in the atmosphere,
Yes.
I'm rubbing my little, to hope it happens. I would love, love, love to meet so many of you all. Any closing remarks?